in order to fully focus 100% on your own health, your own vitality, in order to focus 100% on that, it is impossible for an individual to help anyone. That they have to focus on themselves. And this is even like a couple of people. Doesn't mean you don't, your immediate family and stuff, you don't try to set an example for. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is to take on other people's health along with your own. It would bring you down, even if you took 10% and focused 10% on them. That's 10% that you don't have. You're not focusing on yourself. One person, two people, that takes 20%. Three people, see what I'm saying? It wouldn't take very many people, and it would be more than that. It would be more than that. Two or three people to try to help with their health would be enough to bring one person completely way down. That's just 2 or 3 people. Now imagine 2 or 300,000 people, or 2 or 3 million. An individual who has that responsibility, for reals, if they really have that responsibility, they really want to take on that responsibility, they would die. They would die very quickly. They would go down the tubes and die. It's impossible. And we're even talking low numbers. We're talking 200, 300. We're talking 2, like I said. But what I'm getting at here is, for the average person who watches all the things that, trying to learn and trying to absorb information, that's good. But they need to look at it from different angles too, because everything's a business. Everything that's coming at them is a business. And if anybody really is sincere and really cares, like me, they're going to be rare. But if they're not careful, and if they get, I care, but I understand this, is what I'm saying. A lot of these people don't. There's people that really do care, but they're down low. They're going to be dealing with the 2 people, the 200-300 people, possibly 2,000 to 3,000 people. They won't ever deal with the 200,000-300,000 or 2 to 3 million. But you will get some sincere people. But if they don't know what I'm saying right now, they will go down the tubes if they're not already going down the tubes. Maybe their only way for them, because we live in the internet now. Everyone wants to, everyone's an attention whore, right? So some people, they feed off of that in order for them to be able to do anything. That's not good. So whether they actually are on their way up or not, they need to be able to, like, hey, I need to help you. Come here. And these people are running away to the 200, 300,000, to the 2 or 3 million, because those are the higher levels where they got the marketing money that they can really, really get the people, right? So they're running away towards that. So if you're the people trying to, talk with the 2 to 300, does it make sense what I'm saying? If you're down lower, they're running themselves amok, trying to beg people and grab by the pant legs, like, please let me help you. I can help you become healthy. And they're running away. Get off me. And they have to deal with that. That brings them down. They now making a bit. See, they're trying to make a business out of it, which is what you should do. If you want to help anyone, you should first make a business out of it. Now you decide, because you can't do it, or no. This is for strangers. For your own family, like I said, you set an example for them. You don't take percentages of you and give to them. You set an example, and in the long run, that's what's going to be better for everyone. Because the better you are, the better that they can become. You can't make someone do anything. Also, people have to have an open mind, guinea pig themselves. A lot of people think they know everything, and all they're doing is they got brainwashed by something. There's all these different things that people that are being marketed. Everything's marketing. Everything's a business being marketed to brainwash people, and it starts by telling them what they want to hear. People want to hear this. Okay, so now you got these people over here saying this. People want to hear this. Okay, now they're saying this. So there's all these different things. But it's all marketing, and it's all business. It's all strategies. All of it is. The better people are the ones who separate themselves from it. The people who can focus. The people who are in the business, who can focus more. Who can be focused more on their own health. Completely separate themselves from all of it. So they're more like actors. Most of them, I would guarantee, don't even follow whatever it is that they're selling. Most of them don't, and they're playing a role, marketing towards a group of people who want to hear that, and they fit the part. Whatever, they're actors, and it's. It is what it is. It's not going to change, and it's here's the thing for the average person. That's why I'm saying this, because the average people they don't know this. This is kind of like this stuff is they don't understand because they're not like wanting to be in these businesses. You know what I mean? But I want people to know that way. They go into it knowing that they're being marketed to at all times, and they can find the good in something and understand, okay, what the whole plan is, what the motivation is behind it. And if they find the good in it and use that good and hold on to it, and then just keep an open mind and understand that there's good in a lot of the different things. The motivation from the people that are doing it, everyone's going to have to deal with that on their own and decide what they're, Some people are just shills. Most of them are. Because, and the higher the business, the like I was using the lower people who have the 2,000 people, the 200 people, the 2 people, you're going to find less shills there than you are the people who got the 200,000 people, the 2 million people. Those are pretty much all shills. I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying pretty much it's all fake and it's all just marketing. The lower you get some people with some sincerity. But those people struggle to take care of their own health because they're trying to make, it's rough. You're trying to make a business out of health. When really you can't help people and focus on your own health. You can't. Does that make sense? So I'm talking to the average person here, and the goal of this is anybody that sees this pull out of this to look at everything with those different, not just from the consumer side. Look at it from everything's marketing. So don't get sucked in to the brilliant marketing. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're closed-minded to it, because there's good in everything. There's good in all these different things, and if you combine. Bottom line is, what nobody really talks about is that everything is unprocessed foods is number one. People are always going on these different diets and they're talking about these different things, these different ways to eat: no carb, low carb, high carb, all fruit, no fruit, all meat, no meat, all fat, all oils, whatever it is, right? But really, ultimately, it's about balance, and it's about eating unprocessed foods. Start with 100% and work your way down and be honest with yourself and be like, oh man, I eat 75% processed foods. Okay, that's not good, right? 100% unprocessed foods is like ideal. That's perfect. Who's gonna do that? I get pretty close, but I don't do it. I don't get 100% unprocessed foods. I get I get it as close as anyone in Western culture can get. And I'm a freak. And you gotta be, to get as close as I get, you're like a freak. You're a freak of nature. You really are, because you don't eat things that people eat. And you have to have a life for it. You know, I work here. I could cook all my own food. Now, when I don't, it's harder, but you got to be able to cook all your own food, you know. If you want to live like that, you know, not everyone does. Some people are happy eating 25% unprocessed foods, but they need to know, they need to be able to figure it out. Some people might think, I eat 25% unprocessed foods and 25% processed, and 75% unprocessed. That's what they think. But really, they're eating like 60% processed foods and 40% unprocessed. And then when their unprocessed foods are cooked, they cook them in a way that necessarily isn't that healthy. And then they smother them with processed stuff. You know what I mean? So that's, you got to also understand that just because percentages by like calories or something, that doesn't really matter either. Because it's about absorbing your food. You know, like I'm eating watermelon all by itself because it's just better. Now I can eat watermelon with some certain fruits, but my body absorbs watermelon better when I eat watermelon and salt. Watermelon and salt, sometimes I throw in cayenne pepper on top, but no other calories. So I could eat watermelon with bananas, I could eat watermelon with some other fruits. I can, but my body really absorbs it better when I eat it by itself. So it's about absorbing the nutrients in the food. And so let me get back to, that's what it's about. It's not that difficult. But see, that stuff doesn't, when everything's a business, everything's marketing, right? That doesn't necessarily sound appealing to people who want to hear things. So people want to hear this, want to hear that, want to hear this, want to hear that. You know, if someone's telling them that, well, that doesn't get the most money out of them. You know, it doesn't get the most. You know, it's about money, but it's also about keeping them too. You know, keeping them attached to whatever it is. So it doesn't attract as well. But that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So you get people like me who are very few and far in between, and all over the place, who are saying some form of that in their own way. You know, it's not like, if they're trying to, you know, those people that are trying to make, what am I saying here? What am I saying? I'm trying to, like, I'm not really staying on point, which is something that this is how I am. I don't stay on point. But I'm trying to talk to the average person, and I'm kind of going off and talking about the other side, but they still need to know about that. They need to know. They need to know that I'm talking to 3 different people here, right? So they need to know though that they need to know that everything's being sold to them and packaged to them in a certain way, and they can find the good in it, but understand that and focus on themselves and find what really makes them go this way for reals and be honest with themselves. Because people aren't honest. People want to hear something. Ooh, I want to eat this way. I like to eat this. I like to be able to eat this. So this diet, this way of eating, I could fit in the way I want to eat. So they're never really changing what they want to eat or what they're eating. Because they're eating what they want to eat. It's like that with everything, you know? So balance is the key. Finding what balance is the part that takes time. You know, everyone has a little bit different balance, but it's natural foods, that's for sure. It's unprocessed foods. That's where it starts. And that's very simple. start with 100% unprocessed foods. 100%. And then work your way down. Oh, I'm at 90. Okay, that's still pretty good. Better than what most people do. Most people are more processed foods than unprocessed. And we're just talking calories. And like I said before, man, that doesn't necessarily mean everything, because if you smother your unprocessed foods in processed foods, your body's not absorbing that unprocessed food as it would if it was completely unprocessed. And over time, if you're doing it all day, every day, your body's really not absorbing. Your body's not getting the nutrients that it needs. So, this is why I'm more of a, how much time do I got? Oh man, I gotta go. Okay, this is why I'm more of a unprocessed, and I don't like the word, that cheat thing, but if somebody throws in something that is processed at one time by itself or something, every now and then, that's better than the constant processed with unprocessed mixed. If that makes sense. It's better to throw in, like even if someone wants to throw in junk food, if they throw in that junk food like once every couple of months, one meal, like it's a meal. Like let's say they like to eat Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which are good, right? But they're junk, right? But they eat that, that's like a meal by itself. Okay, that's better than if they're throwing in processed on top of the unprocessed. Anyways, I gotta go, my time's up. So have yourself a great day.